U.S. party flies into Taiwan, further inflaming already raised tensions with China over the island. Dr. Kurt Campbell, the key Biden administration advisor concerning Asia-Pacific affairs, over the weekend, confirmed that the United States will conduct drills in waters off Taiwan in an effort to underline their status under international law while also unveiling a new roadmap for stronger, deeper economic ties with Taipei. It comes as a former Thai senator from Khon Kaen, on Sunday, condemned the policy of the United States and expressed support for China. A quintet of U.S. public representatives landed in Taiwan on Sunday evening in what appears to be a determined show of force by the United States over the island, countering the hostile reaction from Beijing to an earlier visit by U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi at the start of the month. The latest move comes amid the presence of Chinese forces both in the air and offshore near the island, with new plans unveiled in Washington, D.C. to enhance trade with Taipei and to also conduct U.S. military exercises in the Taiwan Strait and waters off the island. Some of the U.S. delegation led by Senator Ed Markey of Massachusetts after touchdown on Sunday night, August 14 at Songshan Airport in Taipei at 7 p.m. They were welcomed by Douglas Yudienshu of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Taipei. Inset, Mr. Prasert Prakun Shuexafan, a former senator and vice president of the Thai Chinese Cultural and Economic Association, who on Sunday, condemned U.S. policy. Inset bottom, key U.S. strategic chief in the Asia-Pacific under the Biden administration, Dr. Kurt Campbell. As tensions continue to simmer between China and the United States over the controversial visit of U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan at the beginning of the month, sparking a furious response from Beijing, including a suspension of cooperative ties with the United States as well as unprecedented military drills in the Taiwan Strait and waters surrounding the island, a new U.S. political delegation landed in Taiwan on Sunday evening. The mission, led by the senior U.S. Senator for Massachusetts since 2013, Senator Ed Markey, also includes 3 members of the U.S. House of Representatives and a delegate to the House of Representatives from American Samoa. U.S. Senator, 3 congressmen and American Samoan delegate make up the high-powered party in Taipei. They were named as Republican Amada Coleman Raidwagon, who is a delegate to America's lower house, and Democratic U.S. House members John Garamendi and Alan Lowenthal from California, as well as Don Bayer from the state of Virginia. China asserts sovereignty over Taiwan with fears of an attack by 2024 and a blockade of the island. Pelosi defies Communist China's concerted campaign of intimidation and visits Taiwan, sparking a crisis. A Taiwanese broadcaster confirmed that the plane carrying the U.S. delegation touched down at Songshan Airport in Taipei at 7 p.m. and showed the high-ranking dignitaries being welcomed at the airport by a senior official. It is understood the party will meet Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen in the course of the short visit, which will conclude on Monday. American Institute in Taipei, the de facto U.S. embassy, confirmed the visit and named those on the plane. Details of the visiting party from the United States were confirmed by the American Institute in Taipei, which is the de facto U.S. mission to the self-governing island after the United States, under the Carter administration, recognized Beijing in 1978 and supported the One China policy, thereby withdrawing its embassy in favor of the communist-controlled mainland. Over the weekend, Dr. Kurt Campbell, the White House coordinator for the Asia-Pacific and top advisor to President Joe Biden, said that despite roiled tensions with China, U.S. forces will continue to fly, sail and operate where international law allows, consistent with our long-standing commitment to freedom of navigation. The ramping up of tension between China and the United States has led some U.S. analysts to express concern that China's response to the Pelosi visit, the second by a U.S. Speaker of the House and the first in 25 years, may have led to an altered balance of power over the island, which, since exploratory talks between China and the United States began in 1971, has proven to be a key source of tension between the two countries. Tensions between the United States and China continue to escalate after a sea change in relationship. A sea change in America's and indeed the Western world's view of China, caused by a range of issues from human rights abuses, its expansionist policies in the region, and a change of economic strategy caused by more populist politics in the West since 2017, aggravated by the COVID-19 crisis, has seen America's economy moving to decouple from it, while internal problems within the communist country are giving rise to an increasing lack of confidence in its economy. By comparison, the healthy state of democracy in Taiwan and a new impetus in Western countries, driven by voters demanding more political integrity, is leading to initial murmurings questioning the wisdom and validity, in the first place, of the One China policy devised by U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger and Chinese negotiators in the 1970s, given that Taiwan, formerly known as Formosa, has never been ruled from the Chinese mainland in modern times and has always had an independent history. More aggressive China under Xi Jinping leads to new murmurings in Western countries about the basis and continued justification of the One China policy. The increasingly aggressive stance of Beijing under President Xi Jinping in the region, including its failure to honor treaty obligations to the United Kingdom, negotiated over Hong Kong's handover to Beijing in 1997, is leading to more people calling for a reappraisal of Western policies not only in the United States but in Europe and Australia. China's anxiety over this movement has not been helped by numerous clear statements of support for Taiwan from U.S. President Biden, although the Biden administration has consistently repeated its continued commitment to the One China principle. In recent days, Dr. Kurt Campbell, the administration's key strategist for the Asia-Pacific, has made it clear that the U.S. will continue to assert the status of the Taiwan Strait under international law. That includes conducting standard air and maritime transits through the Taiwan Strait in the next few weeks, he confirmed to reporters over the weekend. Top Biden administration official declines to give details on planned U.S. military exercises near Taiwan. The key official declined to give specifics, saying he was precluded from making comments about either the nature of our crossings or the timings across the Taiwan Strait. He asserted that the United States would continue to fly, sail and operate where international law allows, consistent with our long-standing commitment to freedom of navigation. Dr. Campbell also revealed that an ambitious roadmap would be unveiled by the Biden administration for even deeper economic ties between the United States and Taiwan shortly. Former Thai senator condemns U.S. policy. On Sunday night, as the American delegation touched down in Taipei, Taiwan's defense ministry confirmed that 22 Chinese military aircraft were in flight around the island with 6 naval ships in its waters at approximately 5 p.m. The move comes as Thailand's Air Force began drills on Sunday with its Chinese counterpart, while a powerful speech, also on Sunday, by Khon Kaen-based Mr. Prasert Prakunshuagzafan, a former senator and vice president of the Thai-Chinese Cultural and Economic Association, condemned U.S. policy on Taiwan and indeed across the world, while emphasizing support in Thailand for the goal of Chinese reunification.